3 eggs will not melt belly fat in one day. No breakfast can target fat from one specific part of your body. But a 3-egg breakfast may help you stay full longer, reduce snacking, and make it easier to eat less later. And that is where the real weight management benefit may begin. Tomorrow morning, try a simple experiment. Eat 3 eggs as part of a balanced breakfast. Keep the added fat moderate. Include vegetables or another source of fiber. Then track 3 things: your hunger, your energy, and your cravings. But remember, 3 eggs are not a magic number. And this is not a prescription to eat 3 eggs every day. The result depends on the entire meal and on your body. Here is the problem many breakfasts fail to solve. You eat at 7 or 8 in the morning. By 10, you are already thinking about coffee, a pastry, or something sweet. That does not always mean you lack willpower. Your breakfast may simply have been too low in protein or fiber. Many common breakfasts are built mostly from refined carbohydrates: sweet cereal, white toast, pastries, or sugary drinks. Carbohydrates are not bad, but a meal that is mostly refined carbohydrate and contains little protein or fiber may digest quickly and leave some people hungry sooner. Eggs change the meal because they provide high-quality protein. Protein activates signals between the digestive system and the brain that help regulate fullness. So a more protein-rich breakfast may make your next food decision easier. Eggs do not directly burn fat. They may help remove one of the biggest obstacles to fat loss: being hungry all day. Now, why 3 eggs? Not because the 3rd egg flips a hidden fat-burning switch, and not because 2 eggs fail. 1 large egg contains roughly 6 grams of protein. 3 provide about 18 grams. That is a meaningful amount for breakfast, but it is not ideal for every person. Some people may feel satisfied with 2 eggs. Others may need more total protein, perhaps by adding egg whites, yogurt, beans, fish, or another protein source. Think of 3 eggs as a convenient experiment, not a universal metabolic threshold. The number matters less than whether the meal gives you enough protein to feel satisfied and support your needs. That is the first important takeaway. 3 is not a magic number. The complete meal is what matters. But protein is only part of the egg. The yolk contains most of its choline. Choline is an essential nutrient used for cell membranes, nervous system function, and lipid transport and metabolism. 1 large hard-boiled egg provides about 147 milligrams of choline. 3 provide roughly 440 milligrams, a substantial amount compared with adult daily needs. That makes eggs a useful source of choline. But here is where many health videos go too far. Choline does not act like a drain cleaner that flushes fat out of your liver after breakfast. Severe choline deficiency can harm the liver, but clear deficiency is uncommon in otherwise healthy adults. And eating more choline than your body needs does not automatically accelerate fat loss. The accurate message is simpler. The yolk contains useful nutrients. Throwing it away removes more than cholesterol and fat. It also removes much of the egg's choline and several vitamins. But whether you should eat 1 yolk, 2, or 3 depends on your overall diet, health history, and professional advice. Now, what about cooking? A common claim says a runny yolk preserves a hidden fat-burning effect, while a hard yolk destroys it. That sounds dramatic. It is also not a good reason to eat undercooked eggs. The main differences among boiled, poached, scrambled, and fried eggs are taste, texture, food safety, and what you add during cooking. A hard-boiled egg does not suddenly become nutritionally useless, and a runny yolk does not unlock a special metabolic pathway. For the safest option, cook the white and yolk until firm. If you prefer eggs soft or runny, use pasteurized eggs and follow local food safety guidance. This is especially important during pregnancy, for young children, older adults, and people with weakened immune systems. Also, watch the frying pan. 3 eggs cooked with a small amount of oil are one meal. 3 eggs buried under butter, cheese, processed meat, and creamy sauce are a very different meal. This is the mistake that can turn a sensible breakfast into a calorie-dense one without making it proportionally more filling. The eggs are not necessarily the problem. The extras can quietly change the entire result. Adding butter, ghee, or coconut oil does not create a special fat-burning signal. Eggs already contain protein and fat. Use only as much cooking fat as you actually need. So what should sit beside the eggs? Start with vegetables: spinach, mushrooms, tomatoes, peppers, or even leftover vegetables from dinner. They add volume and fiber, helping the meal feel more complete. You may also include fruit, beans, oats, or whole grain toast, depending on your needs. Yes, toast is allowed. Removing every carbohydrate is not required for fat loss. The better question is not, did this meal contain carbs? The better question is, did this meal contain enough protein and fiber, and did it fit my total needs? A slice of whole grain toast and a bowl of sugary cereal are both carbohydrate foods, but they are not nutritionally identical. And burning more fat for a few hours after a low carbohydrate meal does not necessarily mean you lost more body fat that day. Your body constantly switches between different fuels. Body fat loss happens when energy intake stays below energy needs over time. It does not happen because one breakfast forced a metabolic switch. That may sound less exciting, but it gives you something far more useful, a strategy you can actually repeat. Here is the improved one-day experiment. First, prepare 3 eggs using only as much cooking fat as needed. Boiled or fully cooked scrambled eggs are simple options. If you choose a soft preparation, use pasteurized eggs. Second, add a generous serving of vegetables. Third, choose your carbohydrate deliberately. You can skip it, or you can include fruit, beans, oats, or whole grain toast. Try not to turn the meal into eggs plus refined bread, a sugary drink, and heavily processed sides. Fourth, do not judge the experiment by the scale tomorrow. One day is too short to measure fat loss. Instead, rate your hunger from 0 to 10 at 3 points: late morning, just before lunch, and around 3 in the afternoon. Notice your lunch portion. Notice whether you automatically search for something sweet later. Notice whether your energy feels steady or whether you still experience a crash. If you stay comfortably full for longer, that is useful information. If you feel heavy, nauseated, or simply dislike the meal, that is useful too. Your body is not failing the experiment. It is giving you feedback. But do not blame or credit everything on the eggs. Poor sleep can increase hunger. Stress can change appetite. A very small dinner may make you unusually hungry the next morning, and a sugary coffee beside the eggs can change how the entire breakfast affects you. One breakfast cannot cancel an entire lifestyle. Look for patterns across several days, not miracles after one meal. The goal is not to prove that eggs are magical. The goal is to discover whether a more protein-rich breakfast helps you manage hunger more easily. Some people should not follow a generic 3-egg protocol without personalized advice. If you have an egg allergy, kidney disease, gallbladder symptoms, diabetes, high LDL cholesterol, or have been told to limit cholesterol, protein, or fat, speak with a qualified healthcare professional. And if you are pregnant, older, immunocompromised, or preparing eggs for a young child, pay particular attention to food safety. This is a food experiment. It is not a medical treatment. So, will 3 eggs force your body to burn belly fat? No. But they may help you stay satisfied, reduce mindless snacking, and build breakfast around protein instead of sugar. And when hunger becomes easier to manage, maintaining a calorie deficit may become easier too. That is not a metabolic trick. It is a practical advantage. The most powerful breakfast is not the one that promises to melt fat overnight. It is the one that helps you make better choices for the rest of the day, and that you can repeat without feeling punished. Try the experiment, then tell me which changed most: your hunger, your energy, or your cravings. And subscribe for more simple health experiments that separate what sounds scientific from what the evidence actually supports.